What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is gonna be a different video here today, as I came up with this idea in my head that I've seen from other YouTubers who have done this, and this is creating a tier list of any topic that you could think of. And I came across an idea of doing my personal pick of Spider-Man movies. Now, of course, I'm doing just the 5. We got a Amazing Spider-Man 2, and we also have Tom Holland Spider-Man, and of course Tobey Maguire. And now, of course, with the Spider-Man movies as a tier list that I'm gonna attempt to do here on the channel, this isn't a right answer video. This is just my picks and how I think from watching all the Spider-Man movies over the course of time. This is how I think they're gonna be ranked. And I'm not going to do the Avengers. Of course, Spider-Man isn't the Avengers, but I'm not going to do the Avengers. I'm just going to do standalone Spider-Man movies. And of course, I don't have like the cartoon version of Spider-Man or anything. I'm just doing the main Spider-Man movies that we are all known for, have seen over the time. So I think we'll just start right now. I'm going to do my best with this tier list, and by all means, let me know down in the comments what your favorite Spider-Man movie is. And I think we'll start just doing this, and if this does well, then maybe I'll try a different tier list, and I'll do like favorite video games or something different. So maybe like Fast and Furious movies or something. So I think we'll just go ahead and do this up. It won't be like a long video because there's only, what, 7-8 movies here, and maybe I'll just do kind of like a quick talk about them and how I remember watching them and whatever. So we'll go from there. So we got the first one, I guess it's just a random order, the pictures were added in here. So we got to start off with Spider-Man number 1 with Tobey Maguire, and that is Sammy Raimi's Spider-Man. I think that's the director's name. But Spider-Man number 1, it was a great movie, but it's got to be we're going to put it in level A. Of course, we had Green Goblin, we had Harry, Peter. Obviously, it shows how Peter gets his powers. Obviously, bit by a spider, becomes the human spider because of the wrestling name that he wanted to have, and then the ring announcer called him Spider-Man. And then Green Goblin, of course, being portrayed by Norman Osborn. I mean, that movie was great. I loved it. I love Spider-Man regardless. And then, but when it came to the second Spider-Man with Doc Ock, which is right here, I'm sorry to do number 1, but number 2 is on the superior list because Doc Ock, Spider-Man 2 was just great. And then we saw the signs of Harry becoming bad near the end with everything. He was paying off Doc Ock to go after Spider-Man, but obviously Peter was trying to protect MJ and everything. He got to finally tell the truth that he's Spider-Man. Doc Ock got into the scene and everything, and then, of course, Doc Ock was trying not to be a bad guy in the end because he was just trying to do what he wanted for his science experiment stuff, and then Spider-Man basically had to let him go in the end. And then that scene, though, where Harry finally sees who Spider-Man is and then sees it's Peter. Oh my god, that scene was crazy. And then obviously very end of the movie, then Harry hears his dad's voice, which basically wants him to bring him back and avenge him, and that which leads to the third one, of course. So Spider-Man 3, we got introduced to Venom, and then we had Eddie Brock, which was the guy who played Eric in that 70s show, and then also Gwen. I forget the girl who played her, but Gwen Stacy, which obviously her dad was the cop. And then obviously we had the Sandman introduced into this one. So this one was good. I liked how Harry kind of was starting off as the bad guy. Obviously went into like the comatose and then pretended he didn't know what was going on. He was good. And then he went back to being kind of bad a little bit, and then obviously he was good until he died. So the third one, I would say I'm gonna put it in A as well because it was good, but out of the 3 original Tobey Maguire movies, Spider-Man 2 has to be on the top of the list. Now, of course, like I said, this is my list. It's not the wrong answer, not the right answer. This is my answer. So this is something I want to just try to do and see how it goes. So now we'll do the Amazing Spider-Man movies because those were kind of like next in line before the Tom Holland series. So we got the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 with Andrew Garfield. Now, I did hear, I think it was in a video I watched recently, I can't remember where, but they were talking about Spider-Man actors, and they did say in their opinion, Andrew Garfield was the better of the three. Of course, he was the better Spider-Man actor. However, Tobey Maguire was the better Spider-Man. Well, which makes sense because that was the first 3 Spider-Man movies at the time. Who is your favorite Spider-Man while we're doing this? Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, or Tobey Maguire? But yeah, of course, I'd say Tom Holland's doing a okay job right now as well. I mean, he looks like he fits the role. The high school kid. Of course, at the time, I'm sure Tobey Maguire was older than your average high school student when filming that movie. But, so we're gonna do Amazing Spider-Man. It's been so long since I've seen those ones. So the first one, we had Dr. Connors. One arm, he turned into the Croc, the lizard. And I find that, if I recall, it wasn't like he was like a big villain at the time until the second one. Of course, you kind of had Max, who obviously becomes Electro in the second one, but he wasn't really like in his sort of like whole like villain era in the first one. He was just that extra character in the first one. And then you obviously had Gwen. Was it Gwen? Yeah, because not MJ, you had Gwen in this one, which was Emma Stone. So it's like I said, it was no long. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it as much as Tobey Maguire movies. So I'll put that in the B section because it was alright. And like I said, I saw someone say they liked Andrew Garfield. That's fine, that's their choice. As for the second one, then we also had his version of Harry, who became the Hobgoblin, which was interesting because they didn't even have the Green Goblin in any of these two. And then, of course, you had Electro, and yeah, was it just the two? I can't remember. Like I said, it's been so long since I've seen Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. So, I'll throw that in C because, like I said, I'm not too picky with those two. They're not my cup of tea. Tobey Maguire is definitely my Spider-Man. And now we have Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home. So, Homecoming was, of course, had Michael Keaton. He was MJ's dad. And then, what was his character name? His, villain name. Was it the Falcon or something? It was, that bird type of... He had, the wings. And he, had the gun. I forget what his name was, but... I don't know, this one was okay. Aunt May obviously has become younger in these movies, as we notice. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Aunt May is an old woman, and then Amazing Spider, she's middle-aged, and then basically in Tom Holland Spider-Man, Aunt May is basically, I'm gonna straight up say she's a MILF, pretty much. But I find Homecoming, I did like it, but it wasn't wasn't my cup of tea of Spider-Man. Tom Holland, I'm not saying is a bad Spider-Man. He's doing what he does. So I think I'll put that in B. Put it with Amazing Spider-Man because, like I said, I did like it, but I didn't love it. Far From Home. I remember this one. This has Jake Gyllenhaal. He is Mysterio. And then... can't remember the whole story. It's been so long since I've seen this one as well. But I did, again, so I'm just gonna probably put that in B. I think that would be fine. And then we got No Way Home, and this came out a couple years ago. So of course you got the returning of Green Goblin, you got the return of Dr. Oct, and then you got basically all the villains from every movie into this one. And then you also have Doctor Strange. So of course, I think if I recall, No Way Home is supposed to be like after Endgame, or in the whole storyline, I'm pretty sure. Now, like I said, I'm not doing Spider-Man in the Avengers for this, but No Way Home definitely was a great film. I enjoyed it. I watched it like 3-4 times, and I would love to watch it again. And of course, seeing all three Spider-Man working together against their own enemies in the end. But then just seeing at the end, of course, Green Goblin actually dies, and like, even though he was already technically dead in his universe, but this was like the multiverse of Spider-Man. And then this kind of just shows you who, like, this kind of makes you answer the question, like, who's your favorite Spider-Man in this one. But then again, yeah, like, definitely a great movie. But it wasn't as best as Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire. So I'm going to put that in the A section. So, like I said, this isn't the wrong answer. It's not the right answer. This is how I think my perspective of Spider-Man movies are. I could be wrong from other people, but hey, like I said, it's my choice, like my decision here with this tier list. And I think I just thought this would be kind of cool to show off to you guys. Like I said, not too long of a video, so probably won't be too long to watch. And if you guys want to see something like this again, just let me know, and I can maybe do some more tier videos. I mean, something different from just gaming and doing reactions. And but yeah, so I think overall Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire, definitely S level. And then A, you got Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 3, and No Way Home. I think that seems like an average answer. And then B would be, of course, Amazing Spider-Man 1, Homecoming, and Far From Home. And then Amazing 2, I put C, just because I can't really remember everything in that one. So I'm not saying it's bad. And there's nothing in the D section, so that's all good, guys. So thank you for checking out this tier list video of me putting to perspective of the Spider-Man films. And of course, like I said, I could have done the Into the Spider-Verse, but I haven't really watched except for the first one, so I didn't worry about those ones. And of course, like I said, I could have done like the other ones, like the animated series or Avenger ones, but that's okay. I find like Avengers could just tie in something else, but I might try to do some more of these tier videos for other things come time. Don't expect that I will do this all the time, but just I want to see how this does. And if you guys like it, hit the like. Let's hit 10 likes on this video if we can. Much appreciated. And as always, my name is Dan. Remember to keep gaming on. Have a good day, guys.